the person down the line with us now. We're live on Facebook as well if you want to have a look. We're joined this morning by Derek. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning. Hi.
Good morning.
Hello there. Thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning. You are bringing something to Pembrokeshire in two. Well, you've already done it in Theatre Gwyn and Fishguard, but you've got two more venues coming for Breathing Hope. Give us an overview, Derek. What is Breathing Hope?
It's a play about St Teilo's skull. Sounds weird. He's a 6th century saint, and he's born in Tenby. And he actually founded Llandaff Cathedral in Cardiff, and Llandeilo is named after him, St Teilo. Where I live is Llandeilo, which is actually a corruption of Llandeilo, of course. And he had there a well. He formed a well, St Teilo's well. And the story was that if you drank water from the well, in Victorian times, you'd be cured of tuberculosis and whooping cough and things like that. The thing was, you had to drink the water from his skull. I mean, he died, obviously.
Yeah.
The skull was actually looked after by a local family, the Maenclochog family here in Llandeilo, for hundreds of years. And people would come to the village, and they would take the skull, drink water from the skull, and hopefully be cured. So the play is based on that legend, but I brought it up to the 21st century. So in sort of age of COVID, being another respiratory disease, I've got a 21st century couple and a Victorian couple, the Maenclochogs, on stage, and the 21st century couple, her aunt is in hospital with COVID, so she thinks, would this work?
Yeah.
And the guy, the 21st century guy, he's actually doing an MA on Celtic law, Celtic things. So that sort of brings them together. So we see both the Maenclochog family on one hand, and the Paul and Amy, the 21st century couple, on the other hand. And the story unfolds from there.
That's fantastic.
Sounds intriguing.
Yeah. And it's interesting, actually, we're talking back to the different eras there. We talked archaeology this morning with, of course, the findings that they're having in Haverfordwest at the moment, where around about the time there would have been the iron foundry works. And pilgrimages still take place, don't they, when you think about Lourdes in France? Like, but people are still looking for this miracle cure, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, in the play, the Maenclochog family, they have a bit of an argument because one of them thinks it can be like Lourdes and they could attract lots of people. It's a money-making opportunity, probably. But, but belief. The play is about belief, and if you believe in something enough, then it can happen.
Yeah. And how are you bringing this to life? Who's involved on the stage, and what can people expect?
There's four actors. So you've got the 21st century actors and the Maenclochog family actors. And in fact, the stage has two sets on it. You have the current and Victorian. So we sort of switched between those. And it was on at Theatre Gwyn a couple of weeks ago, and it's on then tomorrow, actually, in Maenclochog Hall. Maenclochog is about a mile away from St Teilo as well, so it's good local.
Yeah.
And then we go to Haverhub in Haverfordwest on Saturday.
And two brilliant spaces they both are, excellent venues to be putting on a performance.
Yeah. Hopefully Maenclochog will be coming out and supporting it.
With it being so local. And what's left of the well now? Is there anything there from that legend?
I went with the actors to find it. It's not a well in the sense we'd know it was a nice brick. It's sort of a muddy puddle. There was a spring rather than actually a well. It was called a well, but it was actually a spring, and they used to channel it down towards the house. But now you have to sort of just go across a field, and then you get to a boggy patch where, and this is in the play, she talks about it. She goes and she finds this a skunk cabbage, it's called. It's a bog plant. She finds that and discovers a stone, and on the stone is a slate, and on the slate is etched a sort of a what do you call it? Oh dear. I can't think what it is.
Markings, names, dates.
It's marking Neptune's the trident on it, and that it obviously indicates that's where the spring is.
Wow.
actually a well as such. It's not as we'd know it. But
No, and it's funny that these sites are often associated with water and things that you could
yeah,
pass on to the ill. I'm thinking about the spring that was formed on the birthplace of St David's, north of the county as well.
yeah.
That's also got a spring and a bit of a shrine attached to it as
It
well.
talks in the play. Talks about because the Celts actually worshipped water. They saw it as being sacred, and the head as being sacred as well, because that's where they thought the soul was kept. So
Oh wow,
it all passes down.
yeah.
I was going to say, and the skull is a very important part of it. This isn't going to work just with the water. You have to have
Well,
the
seemingly
skull.
not. No, so don't go down there dribbling in.
Yeah.
No. Barry, the skull is actually in Llandaff Cathedral now.
Oh,
I was just
okay.
about to ask that the skull's still a relic, isn't it? It's still something that exists now.
It is, but they carbon dated it, and actually, it's probably not as old as it should be.
Oh no!
It went from the Melchior family, went to the Matthews family, as the original family. They took it to Australia, and it only came back to Wales about 20 years ago.
Oh wow!
And it's sort of a silver reliquary, and it sits in Llandaff Cathedral. Yeah,
And
it's just like a black dome.
yeah. Wow. And so the play itself, would you say, would you describe it as a drama, comedy? Like, what can people expect?
There's a drama. I mean, hopefully it's sort of thought-provoking. I mean, there's plenty of humour in it as well, but it's not a sort of a rollicking comedy or anything. But I mean, hopefully it's thought-provoking, and it is about the nature of belief. I mean, and this thing about if you do believe in something, and things can happen. Because they talk about placebos and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's all very
wow.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. And how long's the running time for it? If people are planning a trip away to Maenclochog or to Haverhub?
It's an hour and 20 minutes to play it lasts for. Yeah.
Amazing.
Lovely.
And what time will they be kicking off?
We 8 o'clock in Maenclochog Hall tomorrow night, and 8 o'clock in Haverhub on Saturday night.
Amazing. And if do people are encouraged to pre-book tickets if they need to get a ticket, where can they go?
Yeah, on the Haverhub website you can book direct there. And in Maenclochog there's no website for Maenclochog Hall, but Sarah's Shop is the place to go, or Central Garage, or Spa.
Brilliant.
Oh, fantastic. And Derek, are you one of the stage actors? What's your involvement?
No, I'm directing. I wrote it and directed it.
You wrote it and directed it. That's amazing. Well, yeah, thought-provoking and belief and hope, where we've all had trying and testing times. Yeah. Having that one thing to hold on to is often what keeps people persevering and going forward, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, Derek, all the best for this 2-show run that you've got coming up in Maenclochog and Haverhub, and yeah, I hope it's well supported. Get your tickets now, either from the Haverhub website or from, was it Sandy's shop in Maenclochog?
Sarah's shop.
Sarah's shop.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Lovely.
You're very welcome. We're going to have a bit of a McFly for you now as we approach 9:30 with Stargirl, and we'll tell you in fact, Gina, it's 9:30.
Oh, the competition for Unscrambled has now closed. We'll be finding out if you've managed to unscramble the letters and if you'll be going into the main prize draw at the end of this month.